Hi everyone, this is Yeho Studios. In this series, I'll show you how to model a toothpick dispenser from scratch. Today, we'll focus on the modeling process, and in upcoming videos, we'll dive into texturing and using geometry nodes to scatter toothpicks in creative ways. Whether you're new to Blender or a seasoned user, this series is right for you. Without further ado, let's get started. So to start off, we want our model to be up to scale, right? So in order to do this, I would like to use this cube as a reference to that. And from my research, what I can see is that a normal toothpick is about, a normal toothpick holder is about 8 by 5 centimeters. And this cube right now is 2 meters by 2 meters, which is a lot. So you have to reduce it. So to do that, 8 centimeters will be the height, so 8 cm here, that's the height. And then in both of these, we type 5 centimeters and enter. So this is going to be the actual size of our toothpick holder, which is really quite small, but it's in real scale. Alright, so let's get to it. So all I have to do is press GZ, bring it up here, make sure it's just on the line there. Yes, making sure that it's correct. It is. Then you can call this reference. Okay, add a new collection, name it, let's say toothpick holder, enter. Come here, go to viewport display and set it to wireframe. So now, even though we are in solid mode, we can still view this as wireframe, which is nice. Okay, so now make sure our collection is active, and let's start modeling our toothpick jar then. So go to Shift A, add mesh, go to cylinder. Beautiful. You see right now it's way too big compared to our size because its depth is 2 meters, radius is 1 meter. So you can reduce the radius to 5 centimeters, which is about the size of our reference. Then the depth maybe 8 cm for a start. Okay, then go into wireframe. This is a good start. Just press S, hold shift and press Z to scale on our axis by the Z axis, and just let it fit in our reference there. Press G and Z and bring it up. Okay, you go to edit mode, bring it down up. Select this, holding left mouse button, and then you drag across this place. Then bring it down on the Z axis by pressing G then Z, and just bring it to about the average height of the toothpick jar, which should be about here. Holding Control, now just click to confirm. We add the loop cut here, left click, drag it down. I think somewhere here, about here should be okay. We select the bottom here, press S and scale it in. So somewhere here. Want to go to solid mode, we'll press or we'll go to face mode over here. Select this face, press X and delete faces. We'll go back to object mode. Right click and shade auto smooth. So right now you can double click and name this to be a holder for now. What you're going to work on next is the actual cover or the cap, should I say. So with that, we'll press Shift A, go to mesh, and let's add a circle for this. See, the circle is way huge in comparison to a toothpick holder. So we'll scale that down, scale it way down. Press G, then Z, bring it up. Right there is fine. So go to edit mode, make sure you're on vertices mode. Then we extrude all of this by pressing E, then Z, then bringing them up to about, I think this height is okay. Then we can extrude once more. Holding shift, I want to be careful that about this height should be okay. Then we scale it in, pressing S, not too far, then bring it down, pressing G, then Z. Alright. So now what you want to do is continue extruding, then scaling about this far. Go to our front view by pressing 1, press G, then Z, then grab up. Move it a bit like this, and this is fine. Extrude and scale. Press 1, then move up. Then repeat that process. And I think one more time. Then for now you can press F to fill that face. Okay, going back to object mode. Let's add the loop cut right here. So we'll go to 1, that is our front view. Hold Ctrl R, click here. Let's click to confirm again. And we scale it up a bit by pressing S, just so that it forms a curve. You don't want to go too overboard or too little. You just want to scale enough. If you want to be extra careful or scale by small increments, you can press S then hold Shift as you are dragging your mouse. And I think about here should be fine, and that should be great. So this can be a jar cap, but ours is a bit more detailed. So when I will shade auto smooth and work on the remaining parts. So for that, go back to edit mode. Make sure you put a look cut here. Make sure face select mode is on. Then we select, I want to be sure of the faces we select. I think this amount of faces, no, we just go a bit high. This amount of faces, and shift select this. I want to be sure I'm doing the right thing. Yes, remember these are center lines, so we want to make sure that it's symmetrical. So select these faces. A quick way to do that is also by clicking this, shift clicking this, holding Control and clicking this, so that it automatically selects this for you. We press Shift D with this selection, and then we right click, we press P, and then we select selection. So now this is a separate object altogether. Beautiful. So now you can work on this. But before that, you want to scale this up just a bit. So press S, hold shift, and scale it so that you can just see it. I think this much is fine. Want to view it more, you can add a solidify modifier to it. Yeah. So that will help us with our editing. I think that should be fine. So with that selected, we go to edit mode. Make sure that this triangle kind of shape is selected so you can edit the shape. Press 7, then we start working on it. So first of all, what I want to do is straighten these edges here. First of all, I like to select all of this. Sorry, want to work with half of the mesh, what the other part of the mesh is also being worked on in real time. This helps speed our workflow. So to do that, make sure that wireframe is selected. Box select all of these meshes to the left. We'll press X, delete vertices. Then we'll just add a new modifier and make sure we add a mirror modifier. Make sure that clipping is selected on it or is enabled. Go to object mode. If you go to object mode, then you see this weird artifact. That's like there's some sort of cut in between. Just drag your mirror modifier, holding this handle, then drag it up on top of the solidify, and let it vanish or it goes away. Hope you understand. So go to our top view, go to edit mode and continue editing. So now the power of this mirror modifier is that once I edit this part is also being edited, and that's cool. So we select these vertices, press E, Y, go up or go forward, bring them up to around here, scale them. I think that far will be good. Still bring them a bit forward. It doesn't have to be exactly at the center. Just bring them forward a bit. Then that should be fine. Select these parts, move them here a bit. Right, then you can add loop cuts. Press Ctrl R. Then we'll scroll up or down to increase or decrease the number of cuts we want to add. We want to add a fair amount of cuts here, so I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 loop cuts for now will be okay. So we left click to confirm. Don't move anything, then left click again to confirm. Okay, so we got some loop cuts in there. So I want to shape them along the curve of our cap, should I say. So move it here. We select this edge, GZ, and bring it up a bit. Do the same for this. Okay, go to edit mode. I want to make sure that this whole edge is straight. It kind of curves more into that. So what I'll do is I'll go to wireframe, make sure that nothing is selected. and select all the vertices on that side. Make sure that everything is selected. Press SX then 0, and I'll move them a bit to the side here. Move them a bit. Okay, you see that some have gone in. Go to wireframe, press 2, that is to go to edge mode. Select this GUI and bring that forward so you're able to see it. The same thing with these vectors. Yeah, I think this looks good so far. There's this kind of a cap now, but another major problem you're going to face is how to create a hole right here, and you can do that with what you call a boolean. Now a boolean is a way of calculating holes in meshes in Blender. It's a nice powerful tool that helps us cut holes in meshes such as this in Blender. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What you want to do is add a cube. So Shift A, go to cube, and in the size you want 8 centimeters big. As for now, it is the size of a toothpick, but we are going to scale it down. So we'll scale it down the more. Press G then Z, then go up. So you are just positioning it where it's supposed to be. Right about, I think here should be okay. You're also going to do a similar thing to this by putting this on wireframe to display as wire. Then next, you want to scale this so that it's just about, the edge here is just about touching this place. So let's S then X. Beautiful. Bring it up. Beautiful. Now this is how we apply our boolean. We select a cap, go to modifiers, add modifier, go to generate boolean, select, you put, make sure it's on difference, the object, to make sure we select a cube. Then you see that something happens there. If we hide a cap, you see that a hole is created for us here. To help us do it better, we'll add the solidify modifier to that. Make sure that it's set to positive. Yes. See that a nice hole has been created. So I'll hide our other cap again and continue some work on it. So go back to edit mode, and looking at this, I think we are about done for this part of the cap. But now I want us to do some rings around it. Alright. So in order to do that, a simple way you can do that is to add what we call a curve. So go to Shift A, curve, then circle. See, we also add a circle, but it's so huge. We'll adjust the radius here, making it just about as wide. Bring it up and put it just here. What we want to do is make them round, so we'll go to the curve data properties here, go under geometry, go to round, and enter maybe a very small value like 0.001, which is still too big, maybe add an extra 0. Okay, I think that's just about it. Maybe make the one a 3. I think this should be okay. Alright, so then we scale it. Scale it, it just touches the cap right about here. Maybe we'll make it even smaller. Make it 0.0002. Beautiful. So all we have to do is go to edit mode and then push these vertices so that you can see it. Nice. Okay. We want to increase our resolution to about 32. Now I want to create more rings, so we'll press Shift D, scale it, bring it up, scale it, just so that they must have some sort of even amount of spacing. Bring it up, duplicate by pressing Shift D and pressing S to scale it again, then bring it up. Okay. I think we'll just move this up a bit, holding Shift, go to edit mode, pull some of these ones down a bit. Then bring it back here. Alright, so then now what I want to do is that if you observe that whenever we open this kind of toothpick holders, a part of this goes with it. In order to do that, you have to kind of cut these rings and make some of them be parented or controlled to this. One way we can do that is by, and that's what I'm going to show you here. We select this curve here, shift select this curve, shift select this curve as well, right click, go down and convert all of them to mesh. So therefore when you press edit mode, you can see they are all vertices. Beautiful. Go back to object mode. So we're going to take our time doing this one by one. We start with this one here. Press 1, go to edit mode. Make sure you're in wireframe mode. Select this center which goes right through the Z. Go to solid mode. Then want to hit the keys Ctrl and plus to expand our selection. You do that again till the vertices meet near this edge. So do that. Okay, I think about here should be okay. Now what to do is we press P and selection. That makes it a different selection. So we see we have this. I want to press Ctrl Z to undo that, because when we went to wireframe we selected the back, so all you can do is press C, shift, then make sure that we're in wireframe and select all of that, then right click. We do the same thing we did as earlier, P selection, go back, and get a part of it. Now we'll just do the same to these curves. So instead of going to wireframe, press 1, select the middle loop by pressing Alt and select, hit Ctrl and plus, expand it till we get to around that section. And in case you go overboard like this, you can also press Ctrl minus to reduce your selection. I think around there should be fine, so press P and selection, then we'll do the same to this as well. Press 1, scroll into, make sure I'm selecting the right loop, Alt, select that loop, Ctrl plus to select those, P selection, go back to object mode. And that looks beautiful. So now we have all of these here, which are completely separate from them all. Now before we go on, what you want to do is that you want to edit them so they are right along this edge here, where the toothpick, that cap is, or where the boolean is giving us that line. So select for example this first curve, go to edit mode, select this, double tap G on the keyboard, then slide it in along its normal axis. You can press S, then X, 0, enter, then scale it up. So it should just be about there. And do the same to these two as well. So select this, S, X, 0, enter, then move this here, scale it. Now for this, because this is lower than this, what you do is we all select this, press E, then just about drag it to around here. Do the same thing. And because this is overlapping this, what you have to do is select this, go to edit mode, select this curve, press double tap G, then move it here, about here. Now in case you want to stop this weird opening issue when you scroll in, what you can do is go to view, clip start, then reduce the number by adding some extra zeros, and then we can view our model more closely. See, because you're working on a small scale object, the other objects are kind of disappearing as you revolve around. I think we'll just manage with that. Scale Y, scale X, sorry, 0, move it. You can just move this to around, maybe just keep it here, and then move this. I think they can be like this for now, and we'll do the same exact thing to these sides. So select them, bring them here, Alt select this, bring it, scale it up. Alt select this, double tap G, bring it here, scale it, just move it in place. Same thing here. You see, so now in this case, when you double tap G, you are being constrained here because you can't move further. In order to do that, you hold the Alt key whilst dragging, and then you can move further than that. That's fine. And we just do the same thing. Move them here, go back. I think that should be fine. So just make some minor edits. Same thing, Alt, select this. The same thing here. Beautiful. Okay, so there we go. We successfully separated them. Now I want us to take notice of something. Whenever we rotate this, maybe RX, you see where it's rotated from? This is unnatural. Okay, but I want to fix that. So one way we are going to fix that is that we are going to go to edit mode, select maybe this vertex here, do Shift S, press Shift S, then make sure that we go to cursor to selected. So therefore the 3D cursor is now at that center vertex. Go back to object mode, make sure that this cap is selected, right click, go to set origin, origin to 3D cursor. Now once you do that, you see that the rotation is now fixed. Alright, but now these are not moving with it. So what you do is that you select this, shift select this, shift select this as well, and shift select this. You are making sure that this is the last selection. You can tell that by seeing the orange outline around the object. Hold Ctrl, hit P, and click Object Keep Transform. Now whether these are selected or not, all we have to do is select this, rotate it on the S axis, then you see that they all move with it. Alright, so this is just one step. So you fix that. This is looking beautiful. Now in case you see, whenever we zoom out, at some point you can see that these curves are open. To do that, what you can do is select all of them holding Shift as you are selecting. Okay, because we converted them to curves, the end caps option is not available. So what we do is that we select them, go to edit mode, make sure you alt select the last curve like this, press F to fill them, and do the same to all the other curves on the other side. So we'll do it for this one, alt select, press F to fill, F to fill, F to fill, then alt select, F to fill. Good. Okay, so I think we are just about done. So now that this is working nicely, you can go ahead and save your project if not. Now what you want to do is work on the inner parts where the toothpicks have little holes where they come out of. So to do that, in order to view it, you have to rotate this maybe and make it open. Another thing you can do is you can right click this, select hierarchy and press H to hide it. Now you're going to work on that part. So I have to add a new cylinder, mesh cylinder. Scale this down to about here. Scale Z. Then you're just putting it in the correct dimensions. Go to edit mode, select this face, bring it down. I think about this much should be okay. So now I want to make sure that we select only these faces. So you go to edit mode, select these faces, such as this. Want to press Ctrl I to invert the selection. Press X, then you choose faces. So that deletes every other was selected. Alright, go to object mode. Now we start working on this. Go back to edit mode, make sure you're in vertices mode. We alt select this edge, extrude them on the y-axis towards this direction, nicely around here. Bring them up like this. Beautiful. Just kind of make some sort of slanted edge over there. And after that, you press 3 to go into side view. Go to wireframe. Then we just press E and put it all the way here. Somewhere here should be good. And that should be fine. Okay. So all you can do here is alt select this edge. Shift alt select this edge. Press Ctrl B. And see they're not beveling as you want to. So make sure that you're S select mode and try it again. So alt select this edge. Alt select this edge as well. Sorry, shift alt select this edge. So select this edge. Shift alt select this edge. Ctrl and B. Bevel them nicely. So holding shift, I can drag my mouse to adjust the profile, that is the width rather. Scroll my mouse about once or twice. Think one should be okay. And then we have let's click to confirm to your desired width. And I think we have something good there. You can also shade auto smooth. And that looks very fine and beautiful. Go to edit mode. Now before you add the boolean, I would like to add some more geometry across this place. So hit Ctrl R, add the loop cut there. There may be some loop cuts in between each of these. So Ctrl R, left click, confirm. So maybe one or two here. Okay, so then what you do next is this. We shift A, add a new cylinder. Make sure that we reduce or we scale them down. Scale them all the way down. Grab Shift Z. And we just want to position them at where we want them to be. Take in mind that we are creating about 6 holes here. Okay. So we scale Shift Z. Think the width of a hole this big should be okay. Okay, so then I'll go to 7, Shift D, Y, bring it here. Shift select, make sure that these both are selected. Shift D, X, somewhere here. Shift D, X. I think I'll just select these both and bring them up here. Beautiful. Okay, so what you can do is that we select all of these, right click, shade auto smooth, make sure that this is selected and hit Ctrl J so that they all become one mesh. So you can move all of them at once. What you can also do is rotate them like this on the X axis. Think about here should be enough. Then we also add a boolean to this. So we select this, go to modifiers, add modifier, generate, go to the boolean modifier over here, select our objects. So now we can hide them, and there we have our host. Nice and beautiful. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we got some holes there. Alright. Okay, so now with that being said, we can hide our other objects, and I think this looks quite good. But we are still not yet done. Now to just add some further details to this. So another thing we can do is can break this edge up, or selecting the edge, bring it up somewhere here. Yes, take it back more. We can rotate this even more. And what you can do is we'll create some sort of hinge. I'll just with a small cube. So go to add mesh cube, scale this down from here. Think about that big should be okay. Move it here. Scale X. Move it here. Grab Y. Then kind of just rotate it. Go to side view. Then rotate it on the X axis. Somewhere like this should be okay. Okay. So just move it here a bit. The GY. So one way of doing these changes is that you can go to edit mode, press 2, select this edge, double tap G, hold Alt, and then slide this up just to create that small hinge over there. Then you can even bring it down, holding Shift, this should be fine. Press A to select everything, scale, then X. I think this should be fine this far. Go back to object mode, come here, this should be great. So you want to apply the scale by hitting Ctrl A, then select scale, go to add modifier, generate, then bevel, reduce the bevel amount, so you can go like 0.001, still too big, add another 0, I think this should be fine. I just add, sorry, increase the segments rather. Now I want to model this, mirror this exactly at the same position. So what we do is, while the empty plane axis, press Alt G to reset the location and just scale this down to about this size. Press F2 to rename it and call it a mirror. Then we'll select this, add a mirror modifier. Yes, mirror. Yes. Then instead of X, we'll select the mirror object, which is the empty record mirror. Select it, and then we have it. So you have two hinges that are completely symmetrical. And realize that once we use this method, once we move one, the other one automatically moves, and this is great. Okay, so we have hinges for that. And then when it comes to a toothpick, we have sort of some little hinges here that helps it kind of lock up whenever you close it. So one way we are going to do is we will use a separate object for that. And you can just make something simple. So add a cube, maybe mesh cube, bring it to where you want it to be, right about here. So just scale it about this big. Add the loop cut, sorry, go to edit mode, add the loop cut. Then select both of these edges, go in, bring it out, select this face as well, scale them on the S axis, bring them back, pressing GY, bring them back here as well. Just something simple and low poly. Add a loop cut here, shift select this, GY, shift select this, go back. Then something like this should be fine. But it's still too big, so scale Z, bring it down, control apply scale, shade auto smooth. That's about nothing. Just scale this. Something simple really. We'll add Lucas on each side. Bring this out to give it kind of a curve. Okay, so you can just place this right there. Doesn't have to be something so obvious, but I think this is fine. Okay. So then we can press Alt R, but before that we want to parent these to this. So we select this, shift select this, hit Control P, then go to Object Keep Transform. Okay, then you can press Alt R and then move down with it as well. You see that there's some intersection, so we just move them here downwards, and that should be good. And to confirm, let's try moving them up. See that when we rotate it back then again, you see this offset, so we'll try and rotate it back, pressing X, putting it here, then try it again, Alt R. Now this is fine. So now, with that being said, to add that extra small hinge here to help open it, what you can do is we'll apply the solidify, but I see that we get this. So Control Z, you have to apply a mirror first, then apply a solidify. Go to edit mode. And everything's about the same, just that there's some extra geometry added, just a layer above the surfaces we can see. Okay, so to create that hinge as I was talking about, or that little nudge or handle, we press Ctrl R, left click, bring them down here, left click again, go to face select or select mode, press E, make sure they are brought out just a little, just a tad. So you can bring them out here, something like this. Go to one. You select these two vertices here, they look like abnormalities, so X vertices. Select these four vertices here and select fill, that is F. Do the same on this side. X vertices, select these vertices and F. So what we'll do is we just bring this out a bit, select these two, bring this out, select this, shift select this, bring it in, that is downwards, by pressing GY and drag it in the direction we want. Go back to object mode and we turn our overlays off. I think we are about to have our toothpick jar done. That is for texturing. Turn overlays back on. We are going to try and rotate this back. Yeah, so about everything is okay. So what you just want to work on here is the bevel for the body. Then I think we are done for this part. Go to edit mode, select this, rather all select this, scale this up just a bit. Okay, fine. Press Ctrl B and just a little down here, should be about okay. Press or select this edge, bevel this as well. About two loop cuts in there, should be okay. Then left click, go to object mode, and I think we have a toothpick jar done. So with that being said, I think we are done modeling this then. If you've made it this far, I give you a thumbs up. Modeling is just the first step, but the real transformation begins with textures and materials. What if I told you that even the smallest details could make or break your final render? In the next episode, we'll explore how to bring this model to life. Don't miss it. Stay tuned.